you get involved is by going through an app like Voyager. It's probably the easiest one I've tested, and it's the most functional, meaning it works. You get the Voyager app, go to Voyager, the links are down below, but go to Voyager, the Voyager app website, or go on your phone and look for the Voyager app. And then you get that, and then you connect a bank account to it. Now we'll go through best practices in our next session about security for that and practices for that, but you get a bank account connected to it. And when you go into trade to buy Bitcoin, for example, you can do it one time or you can do a recurring buy. So if you're ignited, we'll say, around cryptocurrency based on our training today, the easiest, simplest strategy, and again, this is education purposes only, I'm not a financial advisor, the easiest, simplest strategy that I put into play for me, and I'm putting it in play with my family, is to put in, over time, a certain amount per month. And so maybe for you, and you want to make sure that that amount isn't going to hurt if you lose it. So for some people, it's $10 a month. And they're just automatically having it take $10 a month out of their bank account and putting it into Bitcoin on an automatic basis. For others, like me, it's like $500 a month. There's a complicated part to that strategy, but it's basically $500 a month. And that's $6,000 a year. And then I rebalance that every so often to make sure. But I believe in Bitcoin, and I'm putting in a certain amount per month automatically to have a stake, if you will, in Bitcoin. So the simplest strategy is to go in, get the Voyager app, I'll link to that below, and then connect the bank account. We'll talk about the security of how that would be best for best practices in our next session, and then set an automatic buy. If you're only going to go into one cryptocurrency, make it Bitcoin, because that's the standard, if you will, has the biggest market cap. And if you do a lot of the research that I've done, you'll find that it has the staying power as the sort of mothership of cryptocurrencies. Other ones that are real popular that the bulk of people feel will not go to zero, as it's called, would be Ethereum, Cardano, and there's a couple others, and I'll make sure that I'll link to those below for you. So that's the concept. The simple strategy I'm living into is, and the terminology for that is, by the way, is called dollar cost averaging. There's another way of thinking about it. And all that means is every month we're putting in 50 or 500 or whatever it is for you. And if Bitcoin goes up and down, that's okay. We're buying it. $50 buys more when it's down. $50 buys less when it's up. And over time, we're not really paying attention to this. But over time, what we're seeing, as we've seen the last 13 years, is Bitcoin's doing that. And its bottom line is going up over time. And that's what they're expecting. The more you hear about it, the higher chance, because it's got a real scarcity to it, that the value of it's going to go up. And we're right in the front end of what we call the mass adoption curve. It's where the innovators were in 2013, 14, 15, or before. The early adopters were in 2015, 16, 17, 18, all the way up till now. And now we're in the kind of the end of the early adopter phase as it gets mass adopted. And how do we know that it's going to be mass adopted? The moment it becomes easily exchangeable through that Voyager credit card, debit card I mean, is the moment people will be, all right, I need to get serious about this and get into it. And so there'll be more people playing in the cryptocurrency world. And once they understand a lot of the principles of what we've covered today, they're going to be like, oh my gosh, there's a philosophical backing, a purposeful, productive, and I would say profitable, we'll talk a lot about that in our next session, backing to why cryptocurrency is something we need to pay attention to. And I believe in it. And I'm tired of getting stolen from through inflation. That's the magic going on here.